Okay, what's up, people? It's 8:16 a.m. on a Wednesday. So I've had a lot of time off recently. I haven't worked for like a while, it seems like. So after leaving Blue Ridge, I have some spare time to be doing some things. And I don't know. It's been kind of good and bad, I think. Bad, I guess, just because I'm not making money, during that time. But good though, because I am learning about things that I know are important to me. I've had a lot more time to figure things out, and just like develop myself as a person. I feel like I've been going to the library in the mornings, and like I've been kind of pretending that I actually do have a job. Like I won't like dress up, but I'll like put on some real clothes as if I'm going out to a reasonable job, and I'll go to the library and I'll just like start studying things that I believe that are important to me. And one of the kind of cool things that I have realized that I've figured out is that the more I have learned about certain little random things, the more I feel like I am progressing, and the more independent I feel, which is kind of a cool feeling. Just this morning I was looking at this like Foursquare like box method thing for analyzing real estate deals, and it's being able to analyze a real estate deal has been something that I've really wanted to figure out for a long time now. But I've always just been kind of intimidated by that process, because there's so many numbers you can get lost in, and there's just so much to look for, and so many things that I feel like you need to know ahead of time, that I've kind of just run away from even like trying to analyze deals. I've just been kind of like quietly avoiding that whole situation. But what I've sort of very recently started doing is just like trying to kind of gradually dip my toes into this process of analyzing real estate deals and figuring out how to analyze whether a deal is good or not, because that's really my main goal right now, is to be scouring Fort Collins for I was gonna go print something, and I realized they aren't open until 41 minutes from now. Damn it. Well, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, back to the thing. What's kind of cool to me is the whole idea of like gaining independence and seeing progress in yourself. Because I think that that's so powerful. Like when you feel like you're making progress, that to me is when you feel the most alive. I think that when you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling like you aren't learning anything, you aren't developing, you aren't growing, you aren't learning, nothing's happening in your brain, of course you're going to feel stagnant. Like you're not going to feel like you're doing anything, because you're not doing anything. And so to me, I think that it's worth it to kind of go through the discomfort of like diving into this idea, like analyzing real estate deals. For me, it's just kind of an uncomfortable, like adultish thing that I have been thinking about for kind of a long time now. I guess I'm gonna go actually. Okay. And I think that the more that you run from things, the scarier they become almost. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time now. I've like went to classes on this here and there, and I have this whole Excel spreadsheet, and there was such an in-depth class that I went to talking about each number in each box and each category and each thing, and I was just like, oh my god, this is terrifying. What do I do? I have no idea what I'm doing. So I ran. I didn't want to. Is that my roommate? That might be my roommate. It was just like a scary thing for me. And so maybe that's one good point too, is like if you just like, instead of just, I don't know, because sometimes diving in full head of steam is what you have to do to make things happen. But other times I feel like maybe it's not a bad idea to just dip your toes in and make gradual progress. That way you don't get scared from the very beginning, and you can like eventually build, work your way up to where you want to be. Maybe that's a worthwhile thing too. So I don't really know which one of those is better. I don't really think it's that black and white. I don't think you can be like, yep, you need to always dive in full head of steam, and that's the only thing you can do. Or, yep, you can only ever dip your toes in and slowly walk into things. I think that it's maybe a mixture of both, you know. And so I guess I was just thinking about that because today, just this morning, I've been waking up, despite me not having a job, by the way. Well, not having this job. I have other stuff. But despite that, I don't have to wake up at any time. I don't have work until like 4:45 p.m. today. So it'd be pretty easy for me to just sleep in till noon and slack off and rest and do nothing. But what I'm forcing myself to do is wake up either as early as before, if not earlier, which I actually might start waking up a little bit earlier. And I'm pretending that not even pretending. I just should be becoming aware of my responsibilities, you know, as me. I was gonna say pretending that I have work, or, you know, faking it until I make it, or this whole thing, but but I think that's all real though, honestly. Like, I don't know. I think that people that wake up and feel like they have nothing to do are kind of just lost and confused a little bit, you know, because I feel like I know there's always something to be doing, you know. There's so many resources everywhere around you, and you could be constantly learning so much until the day you die. There's just infinite information out there, and so to say that there's nothing to do when you wake up is kind of bullshit, you know. Like, there's nothing that you are obligated to do necessarily, but at the same time though, there's just like, there is some obligation, I think, within yourself to be growing and to be learning. So I've been trying to do that basically every morning. Another thing I was talking about with this lady, she was, I guess we were just both talking about how the idea of hunger, you know, the whole like Les Brown story, how he was labeled as educable mentally retarded in middle school or something like that, maybe high school. He wanted to be a DJ, and he got shut down. He went to this DJ place. He got shut down like 100 times. But he kept going there over and over and over again until finally they just said, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, you can work here. Like, he would not take no for an answer. And so eventually he didn't get no for an answer, which is kind of cool. And I guess I'm forgetting now why I even started talking about hunger. But I think it's because not having a job has sort of forced me to be more hungry, you know. I have all this time to use for something, and I feel like I'm a hungrier person now. You know, when I go to Blue Ridge, or when I go to just a job, I think it's really easy to feel, there we go. I think it's really easy to feel comfortable and kind of get stuck in these ruts, you know. You, like, once you're at a job full time, you're here from, you know, 9 to 5, you have all that time just to be at your job and not really doing anything. But when you have 9 to 5 totally free and open, it makes you, it scares me a little bit, because I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? You know, like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life right now? It kind of makes me nervous, and it gives me, like, you know, butterflies a little bit, having that much spare time. And so it's forced me to be a little bit hungrier. I feel like I'm taking better action now. I feel like I'm doing things. I feel like I'm just doing kind of more. Well, I'm certainly doing more, because I'm not stuck at one place for, you know, 8.5 hours a day. So I have all that extra time to be just doing more things and learning more stuff, which has been kind of cool for me. I've been actually really enjoying that. I feel like I'm a little bit more alive. For sure, I feel like I'm more alive, you know? When you're stuck in these jobs, I think sometimes you just feel like you're super... Not even slowly. Maybe you just feel like you're fucking dying, like, now. You know, there was a lot of days at Blue Ridge where I felt like the earth was just going to crash down, and I'm just going to, like, die from my heart stopping, because I was just so bored. And so, what's that word? Well, I don't know. Uninterested. That's not the word, but that's one word. And, I remember hearing, I think Sylvester Stallone was talking about, one of his, I think one of his movie, I think probably just Rocky, one of his movie roles, he refused to, like, he had this whole proposal for the movie recording company people, whoever they're called. He had this whole proposal, and he had to go to, like, every single, you know, movie proposal company multiple times and he could have easily gotten a daytime job and made some money on the side or whatever during that time, but he decided not to do that because he knew that once if he were to do that, he would lose all of his hunger. So when he didn't have a job to fall back onto, he was forced to take all of this massive action and be proposing his movie idea to companies. He would like stay in their office overnight and then show up, still be there in the morning, and they would show up and then they'd be like, holy shit, you've been here all night long. This is crazy. And so it's just that hunger, I think, that's really super important, that a lot of us honestly just don't have. We just don't have this hunger. And I think that having hunger and having what was I going to say? A sense of urgency. I think those two things I guess they're pretty related, but I think that they're hugely important. And I think part of that is forcing yourself, even if it means just like quitting a job, just so that you become more hungry. And like, even if maybe you enjoy that job, but there's other better things on the other side of that job, then maybe just quitting that job and falling back onto your hunger and falling back onto your faith that things will work out is a worthwhile decision. And I almost feel like not having work as much as I'm used to it's a little bit like almost panicky. It makes me not actually panicked, but I'm definitely feeling like a little bit more stressed for money, which is honestly so far kind of a cool thing, despite it not necessarily feeling the best, or feeling doesn't feel very comfortable. So anyway, I guess that's maybe that's all I had to talk about, I guess. But yeah, I do want to start making more videos more frequently, I think, a little bit, because it helps me process things. To me, just verbalizing things helps a lot. So I think I might start getting back in the groove a little bit. I've been kind of out of the habit for a while now. So I was kind of in a routine where I'd work at Blue Ridge, and then on the way home I'd always make a video. But now you're now fully aware of this, that I don't work there anymore. But anyway, I'm actually going there right now, by the way, to get some firewood for free. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, that's it for today. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Roger out.